Hello, what is up? What's good? Welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Monday edition, alongside Stern Bets. Drew Looking on the Prince of Picks. Got a great show lined up for you guys today, as we will be recapping the weekend that was. Had a great weekend over the last couple of days. Of course, PGA golf absolutely smashed it. Big shout out to Brian for his great picks over the golf tournament there. Cashed out almost everything that he gave out in that one. Formula One as well. Big shout out to Addison. Crushed the Formula One once again. So big shout out to both of our contributors there. Baseball picks were great. The basketball picks, WNBA All Star Game. We had the 3-point shootout as he fought to reach the final. She ended up winning that one outright. So we catch on that as well. Hit on some MLS plays. So overall, had a great weekend for the brand, and looking forward to continuing our momentum here starting this week. Let me go and bring in Stern. Good morning, Stern. Happy Monday on a very humid, gross weather outside here in Chicago. How y'all doing out there in Philly?
Oh, we're doing pretty well. Looking forward to a new week, a new streak. Unfortunately, my two plays from Thursday and Friday, bullpens gave up the lead in the eighth and ninth inning. So the teams that I picked won. The picks that I had did not. Went 4-4 yesterday on Sunday slate. Looking forward to a new week and again, a new streak. I'm very excited. This is really the time when it's time to button down the hatches. And if you are not in contention at the end, I would say at the end of the next 2 weeks, you are likely just selling before the end of the deadline and then getting yourself to a place where you can restructure. But my gosh, this is going to be some exciting baseball coming up. Yeah, I'm excited to get through it. Drew, how do you do yesterday? Or should I say Friday?
My Alex play didn't necessarily hit. I know I helped you guys with a Parker Messick one the other day, so that was good to see. But yeah, overall, I think I was 0-1 for Friday.
All right, new week, new streak. Prince, where are we going first? Can we start with baseball?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with baseball.
All right, Drew, giving you the lead off. Man, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, so when I was looking at the outplays, this was like a tough one for me to do, but I think it is still pretty good value. So if people are wondering why is Max, especially if you're a Yankees fan, you probably know like why is Max Fried, like pitcher props so low. His last start, he got minimized to only 57 pitches because of elbow bruise, and he's expected, I believe, to get ramped up back to 65 to 70. We have Max Fried at the White Sox. His outs right now is over 50.5 at plus 124. So um, I don't think he's on any cap limit, but he is facing a very aggressive White Sox team. The White Sox aren't really a team that is a really patient team and will draw walks and stuff. They're free swingers. They'll knock you out of the game probably by scoring a lot of runs and hitting home runs. They have multiple people with 20 home runs. So I'm willing here that the plus money for Max Fried over 15.5 plus 124. I know it's risky because, he's probably limited to 65 to 70 pitches. And I think if he's pitching efficient, he's going to want to stay in the game. They do have their bullpen ready, the Yankees, because they will have some aces after this. They have Garrett Cole expected to pitch Tuesday and Wednesday, Cam Schlittler. They could take him out, but you know what? This is probably one of the only times of the season you'll be able to get Max Fried over 15.5. I'm going to take the risk of thinking he's going to be efficient, and Aaron Boone's going to keep him in and want him to go into the sixth inning. Maybe at least just get one out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't mind taking the plus money, plus 130 on MGM, by the way. Listen, yeah, the Yankees have some aces coming down, but they really burned through their bullpen this past weekend in their series against the Phillies. I don't think it's even going to be up to him. I think he's going to pitch really well to start, and I think that they're going to need him to go at least 6 innings in order to give their bullpen just a little bit of relief. Their bullpen has been a little bit of shaky lately, and I feel like if Max Fried is pitching and dealing, which he should, I think they're just going to let him go. So yeah, plus 130, I'm definitely in on that number.
Do you think they
Also,
try to
yeah,
like monitor? Like what I'm saying is, I know he's gonna be like a 65, 70 pitch limit, but do you think Max Fried, if it goes into the sixth inning, has like 60 something pitches, he'll be like, I'm fine. I need to pitch this last inning for you guys, like that.
I don't think they're going to let him pitch past 70, 75
Oh,
pitches. I
okay.
think that he is still on a pitch clock, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to go 6 full innings. I think that he does. And like you said, the White Sox are hyper aggressive. They're also pitching Noah Schultz on the mound, which should put the Yankees up early in this game. If you wanted a win up early promo, I think the Yankees are a pretty good bet to do it on. I don't. I mean, like, yes, the White Sox are a different team this year, but I think the Yankees are ready to go through, despite the injuries to their both their star players, Cody Bellinger and Aaron Judge. The Yankees are just too good and too good of a rhythm. I see them at least hitting up Noah Schultz. If Max Fried has the lead, I think that he'll have a little bit of a longer leash. By the way, shout out Yankees -1.5 on the run line is an official play of mine on my premium Substack. I am going in a different direction here. I was playing around with a Red Sox Yankees team total parlay. And then I was just like, you know what? Enough of these parlays. Let me just go to the root. I'm just going to take the Red Sox here. I think that they're in such a better position than the Athletics, who they're facing today. This game is in Sacramento, which is an extremely good hitting ballpark. But again, we're taking teams in two opposite directions. The Red Sox are fighting like hell to get into the playoffs, while the Athletics are in a complete tailspin. On top of that, Red Sox have one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. In ERA, they rank first. In ERA, the Athletics rank last. That's the season total. If you're looking at just the last month, the Athletics have the 27th ranked bullpen and the 26th ranked offense. Looking at the Red Sox, they have the 4th best bullpen and the 15th best offense, creating runs, weighted run creation. Red Sox are starting Peyton Tolley, who should bounce back from a 4-run outing against the Orioles. He has excellent metrics across the board, and he has a road ERA of 2.83. Just looking under the hood for a second, 7% barrel rate, 34.3% hard hit rate, and then excellent control with a 26.2% strikeout rate and a 7% walk rate. The only thing that worries me in a ballpark such as this is a low ground ball rate at 35.5%, but he is facing a weaker team overall, the Athletics, right? Like I just mentioned, they ranked 26th in the last month in offensive production, and they're missing Shea Langoliers now. So you're going to take out one of the 3 people who could actually hit on that lineup. Give me the Red Sox all day. And then we're looking at fading on the Athletics side, Jack Perkins, who's starting for them. The underlying metrics aren't actually terrible. If mix, 8% barrel rate, 38% hard hit rate, 26.7 strikeout rate, 8.5% walk rate. The problem really is his low ground ball rate of 33.7% without any real stuff to protect himself in a really great hitting environment. He has a 7.41 home ERA, and he has given up multiple runs in each of his 8 games since transitioning from the bullpen to starter. Again, Athletics are in a tailspin, and I'm going to take advantage. What's that colloquial, whatever it's called? Don't catch a hot knife in butter. That's what I feel like the Athletics are today. Drew, any thoughts on this play?
Yeah, no, I definitely like it.
Sorry, I didn't actually give out the play. Red Sox first 5 money line parlayed with the full game money line. I got this at -137. If you see the juice past -142, -145, I would opt for the run line -1.5 at plus money.
Oh yeah, because I assume based off the way you're talking, you're betting Red Sox, but I like that combo what you did with that. Yeah, especially what you said without Shea. Peyton Tolley, I'm a big fan of him. He's been very solid this year. He's a good young gun in that factor. And then without Shea, that hurts. And also Nick Kurtz has been on a massive cold streak recently, and he still has like really crazy OPS stats. I think he's like 0 for his last like 20 plus. So he is due to get it going, but it's going to be hard if he doesn't have Shea there to back him up. So,
well, yeah, that's a good point. By the way, I think Nick Kurtz hit a monster home run Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, in general, he has been very cold. And when you miss the people who are backing you in the lineup, like Shea Langoliers, it really just allows people to pitch around you instead of having to pitch through you. So definitely agree with that analysis. And I do not see good things in the Athletics' future. I very much expect them to sell some of their young talent before the trade deadline. Prince, any thoughts in the MLB today?
No, nothing really for me today, guys. Not in baseball.
All right, sounds good. Do we got WNBA? What do we got today? Where are we going?
No, we don't. The W comes back
Oh,
tomorrow
right.
after
All-Star
the
break.
the All Star break. No, it's a little bit lighter of a sports day for me. I do have one play in soccer kicking off here at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then I have two more plays for the overnight hours for tomorrow morning for the ASEAN tournament that we've been crushing. Currently 5-1-1 in that right now, guys. So we're sitting at about an 86% undefeated rate to start that tournament, and we'll see if we can continue the good vibes with that. But yeah, let me go ahead and get into this Bolivian play real quick. 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. We got the Bolivia Primera Division, where we have a matchup between GV San Jose taking on Universitario de Vinto. I like goals in this one. Over 3 goals, you're going to get that at minus 125. Looking at the head to head, this has hit or pushed in 3 of their last 4 head to head between these two sides. And both of these teams within the league are also seeing right around 3 goals scored per match for both of them here. So Bolivia is a higher scoring league in general, and I think we have a good opportunity here to at least see 3, maybe more. If we get 3, we'll get our money back. If we get 4 or more, we'll win the bet. So give me San Jose Universitario de Vinto over 3 goals at minus 125 in the Bolivian Primera Division. Mosh, any thoughts on that one?
Nope, but I do like the play. Like you said, higher scoring, get the push on the 3. Let's go.
Awesome. All right, and then let's get into the good one here. The one we've been crushing, ASEAN Cup here, the which is again the Far Eastern Asian minnows of international soccer here. We're looking at 2 more games tomorrow morning. We've got the 6 a.m. Eastern kickoff. Philippines is going to be hosting Myanmar, and then 9 a.m. Eastern we've got Malaysia hosting Laos. I like goals in both of these games. I do have individual plays. I'll post those later. I need to do a little bit more digging in to see exactly how I want to approach these individually. But what I like the most is just a 2-pick parlay here. I'm just going to look for goals in both of these games. Over 2.5 goals in both of these games. Philippines, Myanmar, over 2.5. Malaysia, Laos, over 2.5. That parlay comes in at plus 106. Specifically looking at Malaysia, Laos, this has hit or pushed in virtually every single head-to-head matchup that they've had over the last 10. These teams see each other a lot, and when they see each other, there's always a ton of goals between the two. So if you're looking for something individually to play for this particular game, Malaysia Laos over 4 is probably going to be the way that I look at it. Again, I haven't confirmed that yet, but there does seem to be a ton of goals when these two teams play each other. Philippines, Myanmar, the data is a little less supportive, but I think given the circumstances here in this table, they're both going to want to go for this one as probably the game that they see that they can get 3 points on against each other to advance their place in the table here. So, given that this is a tournament format, I think it's going to be a little bit different than your regular friendly that they probably played before. So, again, given the circumstances, I think you're likely to see goals in this one. Every single game, I believe, in this tournament has seen at least 3 goals so far. So, we're talking about 6 games so far. I think all 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken, have seen at least 3 goals. So, we're playing the trends here. Over 2.5 in both of these games. Sorry, 5 out of 6 has seen over 2.5 hit. But in any case, we're playing the trends. Give me over 2.5 between. What do we got here? Sorry, lost my place. Over 2.5 between Philippines, Myanmar. Over 2.5 between Malaysia, Laos. That probably comes in at plus 106.
Yeah, I'm really upset that I can't be betting this here in Pennsylvania, but I'm definitely on board and been watching jealously for over the last week. What about NBA? We had some news. We talked about LeBron on Friday, right? Coming to Philadelphia with Jaylen Brown. The city, by the way, is electric. They're all over this. What do you got for NBA futures?
Yeah, so I do have a couple of NBA futures. Like I said, it's a light sports day, so kind of gave you a little bit more of an opportunity to dig into these NBA futures. Which again, I like to get into these early before the public starts to action, and then you don't get as good of a prices a lot of times. So, couple plays that I'm looking at here for NBA futures. One play I didn't actually post this. But we'll just talk about it real quick since you brought up LeBron and the 76ers. There's a promo out there, futures promo on a lot of different books for LeBron to get 15 plus assists in any game. The best price I saw for that was plus 115. I like that a lot. I put a small wager on that. I think given the amount of scorers that the Sixers have on that team, I think there's very likely to be a game somewhere throughout the 82 game season where LeBron just goes out there and says, you know what, I'm just going to get my guys involved tonight. 15 plus assists is not a crazy number for LeBron to get, again, considering the amount of offensive firepower that they have with Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and Joel Embiid. Absolutely, I think he can get 15 assists in the game. So that's one play I do like. Again, it's LeBron James to record 15 or more assists in any game during the regular season. You get that at plus 115. Sure. Just curious what your thoughts on that before I get into the two official plays here.
Yeah, I think you're rolling into what his probable defined role is going to be. So 15 plus assists on one game seems very doable. How many times did he do it last year? Like, I know he at least had 2.
I'm sure you did. That's a good question. I should probably look that up. I didn't. I'll be honest with you, but it didn't really make a difference to me because there's a totally different team than what he played with last year. He's got way more potent scores on this team, obviously, than he had with the Lakers. But yeah, that's something that we can look up here, just out of curiosity. But either way, I really like LeBron. To your point, to be the facilitator here for the Sixers team.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Anything else in the NBA?
Yeah.
Because we do have some NFL futures as well.
Yep, absolutely. So my only other two futures that I'm looking at here, and sorry, Drew, you're gonna hate me for this one, but look, I'm gonna take the Golden State Warriors to miss the NBA playoffs, and you're getting that at plus 135. I think I'm out on this Warriors team. Look, I think you're heavily, heavily reliant on 4 very much aging players who are very much injury prone. You're talking about Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Kristaps Porzingis. All 4 of these guys have shown over the years that they're not capable of playing an 82 game season, and I don't think this team has enough depth. If you're going to be without 2 of those guys, I'd say at least on a nightly basis. I don't think there's enough depth on this Warriors team to make up for that. You look at the rest of this team. There's really not a lot there. Yeah, you got Keith Santos. Yeah, you got DeAnthony Melton. You got some other guys. Of course, the guy Yaxel, the rookie guy. But none of these guys are guys that you can rely on to get you to the playoffs. They're good ancillary pieces to give you a game here and there. But in my opinion, in the Western Conference, you really need your big stars to play on a consistent basis. And I worry about the health and the longevity of the 4 superstars that the Warriors are going to be relying on. And usually, guys, when you see these championship dynasties end, they don't end gracefully. They fall off a cliff. It's very rare that you see a team just gradually get worse and just kind of fade into the sunset. No, he usually hits pretty hard. And I think this could be the year where everything falls apart here for the Warriors. I hate to say that because I love Steph Curry. I love what this Warriors team has done, Steve Kerr and all that. But I think sometimes you run it back one too many years. And I think this might be the case here for the Warriors. Hopefully, for Drew's sake, they can prove me wrong. But I'm going to take the Warriors to miss the playoffs. You're going to get that at plus 135. Before I get to my final play here for the NBA, Drew, I have to ask your thoughts as our Warriors superfan here. How do you feel about your Warriors this season?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. Because of course I will watch like every role players actually like do something and or worthwhile. I think what hurt us a lot, like I said before, I think this year it would have been completely different. I think he's a key player in that matter. I like how Yaxel's been playing. They say he has a chance to start in rotation if he can play like we expect him to play. Then I think we can definitely go far in certain matters when it comes playoffs. I have us around the 7 or 8 seed, like making the play-in, and I know making the playoffs. Yeah, for betting wise, by the way, to the listeners, you actually have to make the playoffs. But there's certain teams though that I'm not a big believer in that made the playoffs last year that I believe won't, like the Blazers. I'm a big fan of Denny and stuff, but I really think when it comes to the Blazers, I think it's had an outlier kind of season. The Suns, we'll see how they do with Miles Bridges. They played out of their minds too as well. Some sleeper teams, of course, in there like the Jazz coming back up because they basically just sat all the players at the end of the year. But I think the Warriors will, I feel like, find a way to make the playoffs this year because I just don't think that Stephen Curry and co and them will kind of have any kind of motivation if that's the case, because I think they're going to try to be motivated to at least make the playoffs. They'll probably get bounced in the first round, but it's just hard to believe the Warriors missing the playoffs back-to-back seasons with Curry.
Yeah, it really is hard to believe that, considering everything that Curry's done for this team and for the league. And to your point, real quick, before I jump to my next play, yeah, I mean, I would say two teams that I'm looking at that didn't make the playoffs last year that you might want to look at to make the playoffs. One, the Utah Jazz. I'm with you on that. I think the Jazz are looking really good this season, actually, on paper. Now, of course, they haven't played any games yet, but this roster, this lineup looks pretty formidable in the Western Conference. And then of course Dallas as well. I think Dallas might make a little bit of noise here. Could sneak into the playoffs. I'm with you on Portland and Phoenix. I'm on the fence with them as to whether they make the playoffs or not. I kind of worry about Phoenix and the whole Miles Bridges thing to how that works. You get them around. They're about plus 100. They're almost like a pick 'em right now to make or miss the playoffs. So even the books don't really know what to do with the Suns right now. So we'll see what happens. I'll try to get a better feel for that and maybe post something for those teams later on. But my other play here, and this one I think there's tremendous value, and I'm shocked to get this value. I like the Chicago Bulls to make the play-in tournament at plus 800. I don't get it. Plus 800. They got this team rated the third worst team in the Eastern Conference, and for the life of me, I do not understand why. You look at this roster, you look at what they've done in the offseason. The Bulls have been one of the best teams in the offseason, in my opinion, in terms of acquiring talent that fits, that makes sense, that really kind of blends with the team. I mean, you've got Nick Claxton at the center. You've got, of course, Caleb Wilson doing his thing, coming out of North Carolina. He's been absolutely outstanding. You got Josh Giddey still at the point. We've got Norman Powell, who's an extremely underrated guard. Norman Powell, one of my favorite players in the NBA. I think he absolutely impacts cultures on teams. And so I'm really excited to get him on the Bulls. I think the Bulls should be excited as well. But this team is just full of young, athletic talent. And all these guys have chips on their shoulder. And you're talking about the Eastern Conference. Again, not as strong as the Western Conference. All they got to do is make the play-in, which is the top 10. Yes, you give me that all day. Plus 800, absolutely absurd price. Don't understand it at all. I love it. One of my favorite futures plays, if not my favorite futures plays of the entire NBA. Chicago Bulls to make the play-in at plus 800. Yeah, Drew, what do you think about that?
Yeah, first I'll say, by the way, Prince, I think that plus 135 for the Warriors, I think, is still good value at the end of the day for a team with how stacked the West is. So if I, of course, was a Warriors fan, I would probably take that too. But I'll say, is that bet to be where, like, if they make, like, the 6 seed, it doesn't hit? I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, I need to get clarification on that because I was looking
Yeah.
up that too. And from what I saw, it looks like even if they make the playoffs, that you still get paid. There's not necessarily they don't necessarily have to play. Seven. They don't have to finish 7 through 10. If they finish, my understanding is they finish in the top 10. You hit that bet for
Okay,
them
that's
to be
great
the play.
value
But
then.
I would advise the listeners to do your research and maybe Google that to double check that because that athlete is going to make an impact. I know to make the playoffs that if you make it through the play-in, it still counts. So if you do the bet to make the playoffs, which is a bigger playout, it's actually plus 2,000. I did that one as well for the Bulls, plus 2,000 to make the playoffs because that way, if they finish top 6, you hit the bet, or if they end up in the play-in and then qualify through the play-in, you still get paid out for the playoffs one. So that one I know for sure. The play-in one, I would say just double check it, guys, and do a little bit of
So
research to see.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, 8 teams make the playoffs, 4 teams play in the play-in tournament, which would
No,
mean that
nope, that's
no.
wrong. So 6 teams, your top 6 make the playoffs. Then your 7 plays against 10. Your 8 plays, or sorry, your 7 plays against 8, and your 9 plays against 10. And then those two, there's a variation, but basically you got 7 through 10 playing for the 7 and 8 spot.
Thanks, ChatGPT, for not giving me the real answer.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, so
Okay, that
basically,
makes
yes,
sense.
7 plays 8. Whoever wins between 7 and 8 gets there automatically. 8 plays the winner of 9. I mean, whoever loses between 7 and 8 plays the winner of 9 and 10 to get the last seed. So you have more of a disadvantage being 9 or 10 because you have to play 2 games.
Yeah, so does that clear things up for you, sir?
Yeah. I'm gonna run projections soon on the NBA. Clearly, I do not have the latest trades in here as I have the 76ers ranked 10th in the East alone. So definitely going to have to run those projections again now with some of those latest trades. But we have Addison on the chat who requested to speak. I'm curious to see if he has any thoughts on this.
Oh, I don't. I was just going to hop in here and give a little talk about F1 later, or maybe some thoughts about WNBA. But
Okay, yeah, we'll
on.
definitely circle around again. As soon as we finish up this convo with the NBA. Any other thoughts, Prince or Drew, on maybe some futures or looks in the NBA preseason?
No, nothing as of now. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep looking for any angles and stuff that I can find. Again, I'm heavy on the Bulls. I think the Bulls are probably the team right now you're gonna find the most value on. So any kind of futures for them, I mean, their win total set at around like 25.5. I gave that out a few weeks ago. I would absolutely play the over on that. I think the Bulls are gonna be a really fun team to watch. They're gonna be a highlight reel. I think in the Eastern Conference, they're gonna definitely make some noise. And again, getting them to make the play in, which is just finishing at least top 10. That's just crazy. Plus 800. But yeah, that's all I got for NBA.
Do you think that they're better than the Magic?
Do I think they're better than the Magic? That's interesting. I think, and I hate to be on the fence with this, but I think when the Magic play their best, no, because I think when the Magic play their best, they play defense, which they're one of the top defensive teams in the league. The problem with the Magic is they still haven't addressed this is they can't shoot. They don't have any scores. So when they're not playing their best, then yes, I would say the Bulls are better than Orlando. But I would say that would about a lot of teams. I mean, I think the variance for Orlando in terms of them being good and them being bad is strictly based on their defensive side because they don't provide much offensively. So it all depends if they're playing defense or not in terms of how good Orlando is, in my opinion. I know it's kind of waffling, but that's really the only way I can look at it.
Interesting. Sorry, Drew, for cutting you off. What do you got?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say all I have future-wise is for NFL, but I'll speak on the Magic. I think Magic are just too Palo-centric in a way, and Palo feels like has to force things since he's really the only like pure scorer, and I think he's like uber talented, and I still think he's underrated at the end of the day. I think if he was on another team to where there was more compliments to him, you would notice it a lot more. There's too many times Palo tries to be Superman. He's still a very young, great player. And he can't because he doesn't really have much shooters around him. And Desmond Bain hasn't been as efficient as they would want him to.
And I would say if there's one team in the NBA that needs to make an acquisition before the trade deadline, it would be the Orlando Magic. They've needed this for several years now. To your point, they're way too Palo-centric. They need somebody who takes that offensive load off them. So we'll see what they do here before the deadline in February. But absolutely, Orlando, they got to fix their offense. This offense has been broken for a couple of years now.
All right, sounds good. Let's get to Addison, and then we'll circle back to NFL futures, which I think will be an interesting conversation. Addison, what do you got for us today? First of all, thank you for your F1 picks over the weekend. I know it was the last race, and I think you said the break is about a month, but I was able to watch it with my 3 and 4-year-old yesterday, and they couldn't be more excited to watch the race. It was a lot of fun. It was exciting. None of the little sprinkles that I played yesterday really kind of panned out, but how was the race for you? Any thoughts and any kind of, I don't know. Yeah. Any thoughts on F1 as we go into the break?
Well, for those of you who may have just had their first encounter with F1 betting, welcome to F1 betting. All week we had great numbers on some great props, and they just didn't come through. I'm glad you guys were able to watch the race and that your kids loved it. That's really cool. It was a pretty good race, and it will be the last one for 25 days. No cars on track for 25 days, but who's counting? I guess I am. So our prop with Gabriel Bortoleto, we got that top 10 finisher at plus 200 early in the week. That number got as expensive as like minus 180. And then he didn't have a great qualifying. He didn't get into Q3. He started 14th on the grid. So he had some work to do. And so his price shot back up to around 200. I think you could even get around 225 before race time. He had a great race. I think his tires kind of fell off at the end. He was running 9th with about halfway through the race. And his time, just watching the timing sheets, his time just kept going down and down and down, and he got passed by his teammate, and then he got passed by a Red Bull. And on the last lap, I'm sorry, a Racing Bull. He got passed by a Racing Bull. He got passed by Lawson, I think, or Lindblad. And on the last lap, he was trying to get those points. You could tell it. He was, I think he got within like 0.2 of a second of the Red Bull in front of him, just trying really hard to make those points. But I think his tires had sort of fallen off there on him. But that's a bet that I would make again in a heartbeat, especially, when it loses like that. I don't have any problem. Moving over to Aston Martin. How about those guys, Hunt? Both of them classified for only the second time this year. And of course, this was the race where they brought some upgrades. So they actually did pretty well in the race. Like, given, Aston Martin was always, 22nd, 21st finisher. They finished 13th and 14th. They didn't score any points, but for them, that's fantastic compared to how they have been and the form that they've been in this year. So maybe they're on the up and up. I think it'd be great. I'm a big fan of Fernando Alonso, one of their drivers. So obviously I'd like to see him succeed. And this is probably his last year. So if he can, get into the points again, I think he's gotten to the points once this year. If he can keep it up, that would be great. Looking kind of at this race, I think Cadillac might be my new punching bag. They both did not classify. Bottas went out early on lap 13, and then Perez left on the 48th lap, just car issues. And so I think they may be the new punching bag as far as the not classified props go. But so 0-2 on the official plays, but they're plays that I would play again in a heartbeat. So don't really feel like I lost anything. After qualifying on Saturday, they had to shift the starting grid a bit because of some penalties. Some books did not adjust the prices based on that. And so I went hunting and posted those plays. The Max Verstappen to finish in the top 3 plus 900 really helped out my weekend. And then I also sprinkled the Cadillacs, both to not classify. And I think that was plus 500. So kind of saved my butt there. But that's just kind of F1. As when the season comes back, and if we want to keep talking about it, I'd be more than happy to. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. But I'll probably be away for a few weeks, but I'll definitely still be listening. But I just want to say thanks again for experimenting with me in the art of Formula One betting.
Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime. If you ever want to come on and talk shop, or even if just to chat with us, feel free to request. Doesn't have to be about F1 specifics. Also, shout out to myself a little bit. Now, I didn't win anything, but both drivers that I picked finished in the top 7. Antonelli finished 3rd, and then Russell finished 7th. Should have really just done a top 10 on both of them, but live and learn. Just wanted to sprinkle a little bit on some winners because I got excited when when the race started and I saw that I wasn't really in any of the action. I missed some of those plays from Saturday. But yeah, again, thank you, and definitely keep tweeting out at us and joining the show so that we can keep getting those out there. You asked a question about WNBA possibly.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk about the All-Star weekend. I kind of paid a little attention to that because I didn't really have much else going on. Man, that All-Star game was is this PG? Is this PG here? Not good. That is
yes,
not
please.
Good basketball. But the 3-point contest was cool. Thanks for the Azzy Fudd play. Man, that number really ran, and we had some good value there. So shout out on that. I did notice.
Yeah, 100%. Good job, Prince, because first rookie in league history, I believe, to win the 3-point contest. And I think we got it at plus 380, if I'm not mistaken, where I definitely played her to win it as well as to make the final 2. So thanks, Prince.
I kind of used the WNBA as an example this weekend for the All-Star weekend as one of those lesser known markets where you can really find good prices and exploit some of the soft lines. They had everybody in the 3-point contest to score 16 or more points in round one at like plus 200 at the score bet. I believe the maximum round score is like 40. So you just need these guys or these ladies to score 16 points each. And they did get that kind of barely, but I felt like that was a good play. So I don't know if you're an F1 bettor like me and you're looking for something to do in the next few weeks, obviously listen to this show and play all the soccer and NBA and WNBA picks that these guys have. And also shout out to Brian with his PGA picks. But those lesser known, lesser bet markets, man, it's just it's good picking, good hunting right there.
Yeah, 100%. Also, if you ever get boosts on any of the books, the lesser known leagues and tournaments are usually the ones that you can find really good hedging opportunities for to use those promos and boosts. Speaking of which, by the way, just going back to baseball real quick, I took the up 2 promo on DK, hedged it against the up 2 promo on FanDuel for the same amount of money on the Astros game. So if you're looking to use those promos, I highly recommend it. I see a higher scoring game where neither team can really get the lead, and I can see both of these teams leading by 2. So hopefully I cash both of those. I believe the DK play was on the Houston side, and then the FanDuel play was on the Angels side. Just a look over there. Yeah, and it's anyway, Addison, any last thoughts before we get to NFL futures?
No, just got to figure out what to do the next 25 days.
Join me in the MLB. All right, Drew. Well, actually, really quick before we switch over to NFL futures, I just wanted to give myself a shout out. UFC Fight Night, Ankalaev versus Guskov. We went 9-6, I believe, with over 4 units in profit. Just a reminder, I only play a half unit per play. So if I would have played a full unit, it would have been up 8 units. So definitely some really good stuff there. Really good weekend in Abu Dhabi. Looking forward to this coming week. And I believe Serbia with also a 9 or 10 a.m. start time. Stay tuned. All right, Drew, what do you got?
Yeah, shout out to Ankalaev fights. I know Roundtree originally canceled on him and Guskov. I was impressed with Guskov in that fight overall. But when it comes to the NFL, for the futures, they added a thing. I'm going to give far warning, guys. They added a thing, teams to go 17-0. I'm going to say this right now. I would not touch it. That's Vegas trying to win money at the end of the day, in my personal, overall opinion in that, because there's only, I think, 2 teams ever that, went actually, undefeated, and 1 team that went undefeated all the way to the Super Bowl. But, plus 6,500 even for the Rams is not good value, because this rarely happens, and 17-0 is even more difficult. But there's some research I'm going to do that I'm going to say later on in the show this week. Is last undefeated team I found really interesting, and I'm going to look at the schedules for the top people to see what I think can be the last undefeated teams, and then look to see, hey, what would be good value for this, because the lowest is plus 700 for the Chiefs. So if you pick 3 teams, or that could be last undefeated teams, you could make some good profit on this if it does hit. And something that I want to point out that I'm also going to do research on is making the playoffs, because neat stat I found, by the way, since 1990, for the NFL, there's been at least 4 different teams, even regardless of expansion of the wild card, 4 different teams for the last, that would be 36 years, if I did my math correctly, that 4 teams have at least made the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs the year prior. So I'm going to do some research on those things for you all. I don't have any futures right now, but those are the ones I'm going to look at and advise to look at for good market value.
Yeah, I like that. Also, taking a look in the NFL, I'm a Giants fan. I know there's a lot of hype on the Giants. And while we all want them to win 7 or more games and make the playoffs, I do think that is a tall order. So I'm going to be looking at props for the Giants, the New York Giants, but just going to say, do not bet the over yet. I don't think that the value is there. I think the value is actually on the under. Even if they start the season off hot, the season's going to get progressively harder. So nothing that I want to play there. Any thoughts, Prince, in the NFL?
No, not yet. To be honest, I haven't started getting into the NFL at all yet. So, no, I'm gonna wait about a week or two. See, we'll get through some training camp and maybe get through a preseason game or two before I start to dig into that.
Yeah, and also I
Next
was
week.
corresponding with Pro Football Picks. If you guys remember him from last year, he was on our show a little bit. He has his own Substack and own little thing going on over there. Fantastic capper with amazing analysis. He was on our Super Bowl preview show as well. He has contacted me, and we are talking about getting him back on board very, very, very soon to talk as we are entering and in training camp. Yeah, Prince, what's up?
No, the only play I do have is the Bears to win the Super Bowl, which I have every year.
Gosh, I will do a showdown on that.
Let me think about it.
I would even consider them not to make the playoffs as a
I know.
potential.
Yeah, I think we're gonna run that back. So I'm all up for that. Hopefully, you decide to do that.
But I feel like I want better value this
Oh,
time.
okay.
Like
Well,
I
name your
gotta find better
price. Yeah,
value.
that's fine. Whatever.
Maybe like the first round. They're not going to make it past the first round of the playoffs.
Oh,
I don't know what it
okay.
is, but we're going to figure it
Yeah.
out because I want to fade the Bears just to
Yep.
kind of piss you off.
Yeah, no, we'll be waiting for you in the playoffs. So don't worry about it. Maybe you guys will be watching us in the playoffs. How about who finishes with more wins, Bears or the Giants?
No, I'm not going to take that. I don't think the Giants are going to win more than 7 games. I just think
Damn.
that the Bears are in a particularly tough division, and I don't necessarily see them really being able to. I don't know. I expect positive regression from maybe the Vikings, Packers, and Lions, and then the Bears are just sitting there. I don't know, man. That's a really tough division. It's a really
Yeah.
tough
Well.
Oh yeah,
division.
now you know how I feel. The
Yeah,
Niners
well,
might be
Drew,
the
your
third-
division's tougher. No, Drew,
Hold on,
your
what
division's
I'm
tougher,
saying is the
Drew.
Niners might be the third best team in the NFC, but they may finish third in the NFC West.
100%. Yeah, that
Yeah, that
division is
is pretty
brutal.
wild.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully, Moch. Yeah, let just keep us updated. If you decide to run it back, let me know. You already know where I stand on the Bears. So
You know what?
Oh,
Prince?
also, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know what, Prince? You bet on the Bears. Maybe if I bet on the Niners, we'll win the Super Bowl. That'd be keep my hopes and dreams up. Maybe I do some reverse psychology there.
hey, that's all you gotta do. Just keep doing it. Eventually, it'll work. I don't know when because it's been since 1985 for us, but at some point it'll come through.
Yeah, maybe 2085. Just wanted to point out a little mistake that I made. I didn't realize the FanDuel Up to promo wasn't available for everybody. Prince, thank you for pointing that out. I would just go with Boston as the just take the lowest common denominator. I think that the Boston blows out the Athletics today and blows them out early. Other two looks that I would look at are the Yankees or the Cubs. Progressively better juice, but also progressively less confident in each of those plays if you're looking at the up to promo on DK. Just putting it out there. All right. Anything else to discuss in the world of sports, Prince?
Nope, nothing really. Nothing for me.
Drew, anything from you?
No, nothing for me.
All right. Let's get to our question of the day here. Let's do this one. Is there someone you'd like to shout out or express appreciation for today? Prince. If you have a better question, feel free to give it.
No, that's fine. Someone I like to shout out appreciation to. I don't know. Can I be corny and say my parents? I don't know. Like,
I thought that was coming.
right? I mean, isn't that like the obvious answer? Shout out to my mom and dad. Yeah, I guess. Drew, maybe Drew has a better answer. Drew, what do you got?
Yeah, I would say specifically shout out to my mom. I grew up in like kind of a single-ish mom household. My parents divorced when I was like 5, so my dad like kind of every other weekend. My mom, she would work like trying to get her master's, and she would like raise me in a way to where it was like it could also be very difficult with a single kid. And then she would always support me through the way. There were times in college where I got like evicted from my apartment because the dog I had there ended up having like babies, and then you weren't allowed to have that. My roommates purposely told like the people that, and then I had to pay so much money just because they evicted me in that way and just find another place. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. And then she helped me through the thick and thin with that and stuff. And it's just overall, she's always been there for me. You know, you grow up saying like, oh, I don't need my parents and stuff. But just overall, I know I'm getting kind of deep, but my mom has always been there for me when I needed it. And I've never once been the person to ask for money, but she's helped me the time of need when I haven't asked for it. And I appreciate that from her.
I think that's a great answer. Yeah, so yeah, same for me. Like, shout out to my parents. Like, shout out to my mom. God rest her soul. I learned a lot from her in terms of just being a good person to people, being friendly. Never giving up. She persevered throughout her life. So something that I always took with me from her, and then from my dad. He taught me everything that I learned about sports, specifically soccer. He was my coach from when I was 8 years old all the way through 16 until I went to high school. Learned everything there is to learn from him in terms of just competing in sports and just learning not to give up, and learning to kind of work as a team. And though I think there's so much to learn through playing sports, it's just about life in general. And a lot of those things, I have to give credit to my dad for that, because he really helped me along the way, in just terms of fighting through adversity and things don't go your way, just learning to accept that, and kind of moving on, and trying to do better the next day, getting better each and every day. So definitely shout out to both of them.
I'm going to go with slightly different direction here. I'm going to give a shout out to AB, Sia, and Mike McClure. AB gave me my start, really, for the most part, being able to get me to a place where I can talk about sports and have a platform to start talking about my picks, and putting in enough effort to really start building my own models, which I think for the most part has been pretty solid. I've had 5 straight months now of successive profits, tracking on Juice Reel and Pickett. Highly recommend those 2 apps. I talk about it all the time. Sia and Mike McClure. Sia really is the person who I probably look up to the most in terms of who I want to be in this world. And Mike McClure, the data analytics side of things, he is the ultimate master. And if you guys are looking for people to follow, highly recommend those 3 people to follow. Couldn't be nicer people individually. And overall, I think they have an incredible blueprint for how to be successful in the sports betting world.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, Mosh. If you're talking to people in the betting world, for me it has to be AB Alan Bell. He's really the first one to kind of give me a platform to give my picks on a more I don't want to say global basis, but just on a more public, I would say, basis. And he made me feel very comfortable doing it. And I'll be honest, I was nervous as hell the first couple times that I did it, just because it's something I've never really done before. But he made it really feel welcomed, and he's really good at building communities. And I got to give a lot of credit to him, because he really kind of helped propel me to feel more comfortable giving picks out, and just speaking publicly and things like that. He's a really genuine person. He's somebody that we all know a lot of cappers in this space, and a lot of them are greedy, and a lot of them are kind of, look, I don't want to label all of them, but them when you see them, right? There's a little bit of grimy people out there, but AB is one of the really genuine people, in my opinion, and he seems to be a very down to earth guy. So I got to give him a lot of credit, because he really kind of inspired me to kind of continue sports betting, and make it fun in the community. So definitely for me, got to give big shout outs to Mr. Alan Bell from Driving the Line.
100%. Not only did he give us a start, not only did he help us feel comfortable, he also proactively gave us pointers and tips on how to format our picks, on how to give a take, how to present yourself on camera. There's a lot of skills, soft skills, that I had no idea about. I'm assuming you didn't necessarily know everything.
None. Nope.
And he really kind of gave us a blueprint for how to do our show. And in case you guys didn't know or realize, Prince and I met on AB's show, Driving the Line, and that's where we started our own thing. But it really did spawn from having that mentorship from him, and 100% one of the 3 biggest influences, if not top 2 of my life. At a certain point, he was the number 1, but definitely top of the list in terms of people responsible for bringing about this show, and B, being able to bring in young people out of the cold and teach them, because it really is a skill and it's important and it's not easy. And he definitely deep appreciation for the rest of my life for that man.
Couldn't have said it better. 100%.
Drew, what's up?
Oh yeah, I would say for like when it comes to definitely sports betting world, I would like to of course shout out like Sosa, Chalk. I don't know if you know those, but there's of course other people that made the platform. And of course, don't make it cheesy, but I shout out you guys. I appreciate you guys. I've learned like different structures of when it comes to speaking on podcasts and stuff. I appreciate you guys, bringing me in that matter. So it's been something that's been helping my like sports fix and stuff like that in that way. And when I first started Twitter Spaces, I was exploring around. So this is a very that I love being a part of.
Dude, I don't know where we would be without you. You have been instrumental from day number 1 on the show. Literally day 1, Martin Luther King Day. It was in February 19th or something like that. Maybe it was January or February. I think it was February 19th.
January.
It was January 19th.
Yeah.
And Drew came on and then never left. Been trying to shake him off ever since. Just kidding, man. We love you, and you've been phenomenal for our show. And I've seen the progression, and it's really phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, 100%.
Grown tremendously, and you've helped us format our picks nicer. I think we have a really good thing going with the three of us, and I couldn't be happier or more appreciative that you have joined our show. I'm still working on your logo.
Yeah, we'll get there, right? Yeah, no, I just got to second that, dude. 100%. Me and Moshe, we weren't sure how this show was going to go. It was just going to be me and him. And then on day 1, just to give the listeners kind of a background look here behind the curtains, Drew just jumped on with us. And he we liked his takes. He sounded great. And then, we had the show the next day and he came on again. And it just so happened he just, stuck with us. And we formed a trio, and to Moshe's point, I don't know how this would have gone with just me and Moshe. Would have been way more difficult. So definitely, Drew's been an absolute huge addition, an integral part. Not even an addition, but it's an integral part to the show. So definitely,
He's a host. He's a
he's a host. Yeah,
co-host.
right. He's a co-host. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm trying to word it in that way. Maybe I just should have said that. Intricate co-host instead of yeah. I'm trying to he's the team. Like us three are a team. Without one of us, we're not a team. So just as much as you're appreciative of us, too. Like we're appreciative of you. I love you. You love me. All right, I'm done.
Oh man, I'm dreading showing Barney to my kids. Also, can't wait for those college basketball plays again. You were absolutely on fire with those. That was a lot of fun being able to pick out games, totals. It was a great time. I'm looking forward to the season again.
Yeah, for the listeners, that's how Drew joined us. Oh, sorry, Drew. I'm just
college basketball though.
Say it again. Sorry, say it again. I was talking too much. Sorry.
I would say it's hard to do futures for college basketball because aside from football does NIL, but college basketball, it's like NIL and transfer to the team's completely different. So I stay away from futures for college basketball. So I'm looking forward to the games to start.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's so many variables in college basketball, right? It's just probably hard to keep track of everything preseason. But yeah, in any case, yeah, that's how Drew joined us. He gave college basketball plays. That was his thing, and he was absolutely crushing it. So definitely can't wait for that again. And this will be the first year that we're doing NFL because, like most said, we started in January, so the plans were pretty much done by that time. So this will be our first full NFL season that we'll be going through as a brand. So interested to see how that all works out.
Very interested to seeing how it works out. But we're coming up to the hour now, 12:28. Let's get in our recap and get on out of here for the day ahead. Drew, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, I have Max Fried over 15.5 plus 130.
Phenomenal value, man. I'm taking the Red Sox first 5 money line parlayed with the Red Sox full game money line minus 137, fully unit on FanDuel. If the price has moved too much, just pivot to the Red Sox minus 1.5 at plus money.
Cool. And then for me, guys, we're looking at the Bolivian Primera Division this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. We're going to take GV San Jose and Universitario over 3 goals at -125. Looking at the ASEAN tournament for in the Tuesday morning, give me Philippines, Myanmar over 2.5 with Laos, Philippines over 2.5 goals. That parlay comes in at +106. Then a couple NBA futures plays for you guys. I like the Golden State Warriors to miss the NBA playoffs. That comes in at +135. And then I also like the Chicago Bulls to make the play-in tournament, and that one comes in at +800. That's going to do it for us today, guys. This has been the Monday edition of the Only Bet Sports Podcast alongside Stern Bets and Drew Lukey. I am the Prince of Picks. Shout out to Addison for his contributions to the show. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, Tuesday, live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern at Only Bets Podcast. Let's cash out these tickets. Have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks.